Well, good evening, you beautiful faces, to another video here on the YouTube channel. Hope you're doing absolutely beautiful today. We're going to be checking out 7 most baffling things about American grocery stores. Whenever I was in the US, I was always kind of blown away about like what your stores in general, usually about the size of them and usually about the variety of items. Like there's always so much of literally everything. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope you're having a great day today. First of all, I'm having a good day. My team won. I don't know why I'm finding the need to tell you that. Hello, if you're new here, you probably left. If you haven't and you're still new, you want to sub? Probably not, but it would be great because we got 68% of people who watch the channel aren't yet subbed. We're slowly getting that number down. So if you guys want to be on the choo-choo train, you know what to do, man. Anyway, let's jump in.
Hello, this year I have been doing a lot of videos
related
to trying American food for the first time. This video is sponsored by SimpliSafe.
Lawrence, are you not wearing socks, man? Yes, I thought my guy was raw dogging it in the shoes there. I was about to send him a message, bro. I was about to send him a message. Okay.
Well, first thing to notice is that you don't have to put any kind of coin in order to procure a shopping trolley or cart, as they're known.
There's
this is
no
you will see at Aldi,
way.
which is something that you see at Aldi around the world. But for the most part, American carts don't require it. In the UK,
that is crazy. I know he's about to say something, but I was literally just going to get my input. I was at the shop or store or whatever you want to call it yesterday, and it's always been a thing, but I walked up to get a cart. We call it a trolley. Whatever, and I forgot that you needed to literally put £1 in it before you could get the trolley. And I was like, how stupid is that? You literally have to pay for a cart and then it gives you your £1 back at the end. So like, it's not as if they're making any money of it. I'm assuming it's to stop people from stealing them. But can't we just lock them up at night? You know what I mean? Like, imagine you didn't have a pound coin, a cent or whatever you guys probably call it. Imagine you didn't have a coin. You can't go fucking shopping. Brilliant.
Coin-operated trolleys are a bit more prevalent, with some supermarkets employing them and others not. Back in
Disgraceful.
2017, these trolleys made the news when many of them were incapable of accepting Britain's new 12-sided pound coin.
Good.
You know, I was just thinking about something. When we were in Britain, we were walking around one of the superstores out there, and I noticed these stools that I had forgotten about. They used to be in all of the grocery stores in England. They still are, it seems. And you don't see them as often in American grocery stores. Perhaps it's because the shelves
everyone's
are slightly
taller.
higher up. So the shelf stackers who use those stools in Britain, they need something a bit taller. So usually what you see in grocery stores here are things like ladders to help them get to those higher spaces.
And go, lads, it's a bit safer as well, isn't it? Like an actual ladder with a little bit of a hand rail on it.
Tall person, I can only just about touch that. And on the subject of size, it won't surprise anyone to learn that American supermarkets are generally bigger than their UK counterparts.
You're goddamn right there, bro.
To be especially true at Walmart, whose retail spaces are so big they're not even supermarkets, but hypermarkets. A hypermarket combines a supermarket with a department store, basically a one-stop shop for everything.
Hypermarket?
However, it might surprise some.
Oh, honey, I'm just heading down to the hypermarket here. That doesn't sound right, does it? I'm just gonna go down and get some groceries at the local hypermarket. You coming? Don't like it, man.
And that Britain has its own hypermarkets with the likes of Tesco Extra, usually found on the outskirts of
I have
town.
never heard that in my life.
70,000 square feet, even these don't stack up to those Walmart supercenters, which average about 100,000 square feet.
Jesus. That's insane. That's
I have no idea how to find crab meat. I've never done this. Do you want? We could just go to Baltimore.
What the fuck just happened there?
I quickly come back from the store because I realised that I forgot to lock the door.
Okay.
And then realised, actually, that doesn't matter. Because even if my wife's cousin Chad has found out our address, we are protected by SimpliSafe. A SimpliSafe system with its...
What the hell is this? It's a fucking sponsor.
You won't normally find milk of this size showing up in Asda because we just don't have the fridge space
I'm sorry, that must be like 5 litres.
for it. And that's not all. The inclusion of preservatives, as well as a different pasteurization method, means that American milk actually lasts longer than British milk. So Americans can justify buying it by the gallon.
Was that a 5 litre?
Because both countries have different ways of defining that. A US gallon measures in at 128 fluid ounces, while a UK gallon equates to 160 fluid ounces.
What?
So you might think, ooh, Lawrence, you lied. British milk is bigger. Well, not really, because in the UK, milk is not typically sold by the gallon, but in pints and litres.
Yep.
The largest bottle on the market is the 6-pint bottle, which is a tad smaller than a US gallon, even if a UK pint is 1 1/4 the size of a US pint. It's all quite confusing.
Like, imagine, bro, look how many milks you got. In this fridge alone, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 different. I think they're different. Or is it just because the light is flat? I think it's just because the light. 5. You got 5 different milks, 6 different milks in the same fridge. You got semi-skimmed and full fat. That's all you get.
I think this will just about fit in our fridge. One thing you'll often notice in US grocery stores is the price tag. It's very inviting. It usually ends in 99. It makes you think, okay, it's 1 cent cheaper than, say, $8 if it's $7.99. And that's great. So you get the thing, you put it in your cart, and you walk up to the till thinking, all right, great, we've made some good deals here, until sales tax happens. In the US, sales tax is added at the point of purchase, and after 17 years living in the country, I no longer bat an eyelid at this. But having arrived here from a country where value-added tax is included in the price tag.
Is that Lawrence? Lawrence, you're aging well, man. Let me tell you, you look great now. I'm not saying you didn't there. I'm just saying you're aging like a fine wine. Okay. I was going to say though, if I now know why they do that, you know, you don't pay at the till what you see on the price tag on the shelf. It's because the sales tax is different in every state, right? So like if it's the same brand selling something in a store in 2 different states, it's going to be the same price on the price tag, but because the sales tax in the state is different, they got to add that on at the desk or at the register, right? I'm learning, okay? I am learning. You know what else I'm learning? A lot of people here aren't following on the Twitch yet. If you guys want to come and join the community we got on there, we do like live reacts to this sort of stuff. We play some games, we have a laugh, we interact with each other. It's live. We interact and react. There's a link in the pinned comment. Click the link, follow, boom. We're family. We already are, but we're like second cousins now. If you follow the Twitch, we're cousins.
It did briefly make me reconsider buying a ukulele when I barely had enough money to justify it in the first place.
That's the best time to buy stuff. That's always the best time. When you literally have to have a mental argument with yourself whether you can afford it or not. Best time.
What's this? Refrigerated eggs. This is not something you would see in a British store where the eggs are usually placed just on a shelf somewhere away from refrigeration. And why is that? It all comes down to both countries' attempts at preventing contamination. In the United States, the USDA mandates that eggs must be washed and sanitized before they reach the consumer.
I don't think that's the same here.
This is to ensure that it's not covered in chicken. The European.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. A lot of you open an egg over here, you open an egg box over here. Sometimes the eggs still have a fucking feather on it. Ain't gonna lie, can just come straight out yours. They literally, the chickens fart the eggs out into the fucking box. Close the box, into the local store.
The European Union, on the other hand, says that Class A eggs must not be washed, which sounds mental, right? Except the EU believes that washing eggs can do more harm than good. And there's a couple of reasons for this. When a hen lays an egg, she coats it in a cuticle in order to protect the egg against contamination once it pops out. Anyway, it's thought that washing eggs can result in the removal of this cuticle, making eggs vulnerable to pathogenic contamination. In America, the USDA requires producers to wash eggs in water with a minimum temperature of 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
I mean, both kind of make sense. I think this is one of these situations where both make sense, right?
They are then rinsed with a special cleaning spray with the intention of eradicating contamination and then dried. Not drying the eggs would mean that the resulting moisture could become a breeding ground for salmonella. Additionally, using cold or dirty water in the cleaning process would cause bacteria to seep in, and there'd be no extra lives for that egg. So what's this got to do with refrigeration? Well, firstly, the USDA...
Ain't gonna lie, man, if somebody handed me an egg straight out the chicken's arse and was like, yeah, there's an egg, you gotta eat that now, I'm probably gonna wash it. I'm gonna wash it. I ain't cracking that and putting it onto a pan immediately. Got chicken shit on there. Don't care what it's coated in. I am not cracking an egg with shit on it. Is that fair enough? I'm with the Americans.
It freely admits that washing the egg can remove the cuticles, so chilling the eggs in store becomes more critical. In Britain and the EU, not so much. One thing that's often mentioned about US grocery stores is that the cashiers, when you get to the till, are usually standing up. A lot has been made of how this is not great for, you know, your physical well-being and all of that. We're not used to this in Britain, where where they are sitting on a stool. And as somebody who has just rubbish knees, I can completely empathize. On the other hand, arguments in favor of this, usually by those that own the stores, seem to be that standing up.
I mean, if you're working at the register and you got bad knees, you probably just ask your manager, look, can I get a stool or a seat because I got bad knees? They'll probably say, yeah. But standing up is literally, if you are a healthy person with okay knees and you can stand up for a long period of time without getting in pain, that is literally better than sitting down for your entire shift. It's literally better for your physical. 100%. Ain't the debate.
Looks more professional, and that it gives the cashier more range of movement, which, as I'm demonstrating here, is obviously true. And I take back everything I said in the previous scene. But let me know in the comments what you think. Should cashiers be able to sit like they do in Europe, or should they stand like true patriots? Of course,
I think you should have the option. I don't think it should be a situation where you have to either do one or the other. I feel like you should have the option. If you want to sit down, sit down. This is one of these moments in life where you should just like not take it so serious. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to sit down, bro, you sit down. If I was the manager of a store and one of my workers on the register wanted to sit down while doing it, hey, you can lie down if you want. I don't care. Just fucking scan the shit. You know what I mean?
Of course, increasingly, both countries are adopting self-checkouts.
Bro, how many eggs are in that carton?
Is no exception. I'm well practiced in this, and in fact, self-checkouts are, I think, amazing because you don't have to talk to anybody unless you're buying alcohol. But I quit alcohol, and that was one of the reasons. Being social. What's going on with that? With that, no eggs. What? I used to be good at it. Yeah, that did it. We did it. That's good. Old Bay seasoning.
Yeah.
How many store-provided bags did you use today?
0. And of course, with Britain and America being two nations divided by a common language, you can't really talk about grocery stores without talking about some of the terminological differences. A big one, of course, as I mentioned earlier, is trolley versus shopping cart. And of course, when you come to pay in Britain, you go to the till. In America, it's the cash register. And one that stood out to me recently as people that don't usually go in-store, but in fact go to the curbside pickup lanes in Britain, which...
What the hell is that? Wait, I've never seen this in my life.
I'm surprised to say does have curbside pickup. It's just there. It's called Click and Collect. If you liked this video,
what the fuck is it? Well, like you order stuff online and you drive into your bay and what? They bring their order out to you. I have never in my life, in my 21 years on this planet plus 12, ever seen that. Well then, we learn something new every day. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction video. If you want me to react to anything on Earth or in space, doesn't really matter. You want to talk about aliens and shit? Fire on. Have a great day. Have a great life. Well, hopefully I see you again. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, have a great day, man. God.